maybe it's time to start. So welcome everyone to this webinar. I'm Paulus Perkkiö, I'm CEO in Seidat, founder of the company. And today's topic in this webinar is Seidat as a marketing and sales tool. Today we will go through topics like sales flow. What does that mean? What kind of tool is Seidat and how you can use it as a tool in marketing and sales. We discuss a little bit about process automations, how to produce different kind of sales and marketing content, and many kind of options how you can keep your content always up to date. Today, chat is open all the time, so whenever you have questions, please do not hesitate to chat me those questions. And we are recording the whole webinar, so if there is something problems, if there will happen something, then you will get the recording later, and which you can share to your colleagues anyway. So welcome everyone. And in the beginning of this webinar, I recommend you to follow our social media channels in LinkedIn, Facebook, in Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. In those channels, we are telling you tips how to develop your sales and marketing, and of course, what kind of help we can offer for you. So, welcome once again. My name is Paulus Perkkiö, and my background in sales and marketing is about 20 years time long, and I have started my sales career when I was a little kid. I was selling Christmas cards from door to door, and it was very fun. After that, I have been working in market, grocery stores, and selling phone, for example, some newspapers. And my professional career, I have been working mostly with different kind of professional services and software. And I have not been as a pure sales guy ever, but most of the time I have been working with sales and marketing. So it is the background where I have collected the content for this webinar. I must also say that as a consultant, I have been working with hundreds of companies which has different kind of sales and marketing processes, and I have learned quite a lot of those, not only in our own sales work, but also with my customers. So I want to also recommend you to download. We have a white paper about Seidat in our Sales Academy and Seidat Academy, and this document is actually in Finnish, but we have an also English version. Evert is helping me in this webinar, and latest in the email where you will get the recording, you will get also link to this English version, so you can go through that and get a little bit ideas about Seidat and how to develop your sales processes. It's easy to share it to your colleagues. So, starting about sales flow. Our mission in Seidat is to enable winning sales flows. And what does that mean actually? We think that sales flow, it contains 3 separate topics. The first one is the process. Second one is a meeting and collaboration. So we think that winning sales flow, it consists of sales process flow. So how you will do your sales from the early beginning until you will get the customer and make that customer as an ambassador for your business. Then there is a meeting flow, how you will run your meetings, and collaboration flow, how you will collaborate between inside your own team, between other sales team members and marketing department. But I would also say that it's interesting to think this collaboration, also collaboration between seller and buyer, because if there is a real sales flow, I think that it's a group work where seller and buyer has same goal and they are together trying to find best possible solutions. And we quite often draw this kind of image where we try to visualize what is how to impact to sales results. And there is a vertical line. In the left side of this vertical line, there is a back office work. And in the right side, there is frontline work. So quite often we are discussing with our customers what is the most important part of the sales if you want to impact, if you want to develop your sales results. And quite often, and nearly always, we come to conclusion that the most important thing is all those situations when you are interacting with your customers, so meetings, and whenever you are sending to your customers any kind of sales and marketing content which will communicate the message which you are trying to tell to your customer. So if you think that it's very, very typical that when we are discussing with our customers or potential customers, they are telling that, okay, we have development process to try to find better CRM tool, or they are onboarding with that, and it's taking the whole concentration from the sales team. And how we see that CRM tools, it's like a back office work, but it's not helping where there is the best possible way to impact your sales results in the front line of the sales, in those situations where you are interacting with your customers. And how we are positioning ourselves, we are there where is the interaction with your customer. Of course, we are also interested how to integrate our tool with CRM tools. So we are combining that back office work and this frontline work. And because those interaction situations are really important, we are calling them moments of truth. So this meeting, it's very important for your business. We are also many times thinking that if you are trying to develop your sales flow, it's like a sales design work. My professional background is in industrial design, so I'm designer from my educational background. And 20 years ago, when I was working in design, I designed some products, and every time we were thinking that how to make them distinctive, how to make them so that they have uniform quality, they are reproducible in manufacturing processes, and how to design them so that they are really cost effective, so that manufacturer can get as big profit as possible. And if you think about those topics, I must say that it's very important that you think your sales from this point of view. How to make your sales distinctive, not only your product and services and your brand. It's not enough. You can make also your sales a little bit distinctive from your competitors. You can make uniform quality so that whenever I'm selling or Evert or someone else from our organization is selling our product, then the customer will get same kind of experience. It must be reproducible so that whenever you go to next customer, you can use same kind of tools, same kind of processes, and it must be cost effective, of course. And this is very important to think when you are developing your sales flow. So now we know what I mean with sales flow, and our solution to develop sales flow is our tool. Our tool is cloud-based sales platform, Seidat, which you can use with your browser. In Seidat, using Seidat, you can create your sales materials, you can present them to your customers, to your colleagues, you can share them, you can e-sign them when you are creating contracts, you can collaborate with your team members, with your customers using Seidat, you can analyze how your team or your customers are using those presentations which you have created in Seidat. I think that this is very important, that our tool is covering the whole life cycle of those materials, from creation to development, sharing, analyzing. And this tool is amazing because you can use it with all kind of devices, with your mobiles, tablets, laptops, with Macs, Windows, whichever software you have in your tools. Because of that, this is a place where you have always access, and you have all your presentation, your sales materials in one place. I many times use word presentation, but later you will learn that it's not only images and text. What I think that is presentation. It's much more, and that's why I'm many times saying sales material at the same time. In Seidat, we have many specialties. One of those specialties is matrix structure. So your presentations are not only linear presentation, but you can have this kind of matrix where you have here like an elevator pitch, and then you can go deeper to the solution topic, for example, to present those things which your customer is interested about. And you are using those this presentation in this kind of presenter view, where you have opportunity to make also meeting notes, and you have also slide notes. So notes for presenter, what kind of things you must tell to your customer on that slide, and then you can write down meeting notes so that they are very easy to copy to your CRM. And I must say, this is nearly the only tool which I have used in online meetings, which can be really used in every case, so that you can use presenter view with Google Meet, Zoom, Teams, with your phone, when in a situation when you have only one screen. and you still can see your customer faces and present content. I think it's very important. Seidat is also a tool which can be integrated to your sales and marketing ecosystems. So for your social media channels, so whenever you are opening the presentation, actually, Evet, could you share the link to this presentation in chat so that whenever someone opens the presentation, then it can trigger a LinkedIn campaign or campaign in Google ad network or in other social media channel. You can also use same kind of analytics tools which you are using in marketing, so lead feeder, Google Analytics, and so on. You can also integrate your CRM tools to automate the content creation. If you, for example, want to create personalized proposals to your customer, then you can get that proposal information, names and times and products and prices from your CRM to Seidat and automate the creation process. Then you can also integrate, for example, Trustmari, Lido, and that kind of tools to get content, different kind of content to your presentations, like Trustmari customer referrals or Lido in-page spots. And when you are using Zapier to create those automations, then you can, for example, integrate also Slack or Teams channels where you can communicate to your team members what kind of proposals you have created using those automations. I think it really saves time, and it's amazing. So how we see that I say that in sales, developing the winning sales flow means that you must think your sales process. So how you contact your customers, how you run your meetings, what do you do with after the meeting, so that are you sending some content to your customers? How do you create proposals and contracts or agreements? We can help sales organizations on all of those topics, and also before contacting. For example, many of our customers are creating different kind of guides using Seidat. They don't anymore send PDFs which people can subscribe from your website, but they are sending Seidat presentations. You can test if you want to test that. Please go to our Seidat Academy and there filter guides, and then you can order those to you. And it's easy way to test how it works. But whenever you are thinking this kind of process, I will next go through how typically our customers are, what kind of content they are using in their contacting phase, what kind of content they are using in other steps. Yes. If you start from this contacting stage, I would say that Seidat is really nice tool to get those meetings scheduled. For example, in social media, in LinkedIn, for example, if you are using those emails, here is an example where you can see that I'm sending a message to Heikki, And in that message, I'm sharing a presentation. And because on the first page of the presentation, there is a question, do you have enough meetings? And the title of the presentation is Double Your Results. I think this is amazing way to contact your customers, potential customers in LinkedIn. Easy and really nice way. And in that presentation, which I share to Heikki, there is a calendar embedded inside the presentation. For example, today I sent a presentation to one investor. It was Seidat pitch deck, and in that pitch deck there was a calendar embedded. And today, when they saw the presentation, they have scheduled a meeting with me. And if I show you, this is one way how we have done that kind of content. Here you can see that there is a presentation which is personalized to Evert. Evert, could this help you? And then there is a Tim is speaking about hi, and please check this presentation. And then when you get this presentation, you can see that, okay, there is same kind of propaganda what I have told to you earlier, but it's easy way to check. Then there are some customer referrals, and then let's schedule a meeting. Okay, and what happens? There's Teams calendar. You can go there and book a meeting immediately from that introduction presentation. So if you think about presentation as they have been used typically, this is not anymore same kind of thing. And actually, this presentation is personalized using Zapier. The content it has came from our CRM. So because there is Evert, choose the next step. The Evert name it has came from our platform, and the link to that presentation is inside our CRM tool, and it has been sent to Evert using our CRM. And the whole process is automated so that you need to add only one tag to the person in our CRM, and everything happens immediately. Yes. Then what typically happens in meetings? I must go back to this presentation, main presentation, and there is a short structure about sales decks, how we have built them to our customers. I would say that typically when we are now living in this kind of situation, when sales meetings are more and more virtual meetings, it means that you must have a little bit better content what you have earlier maybe used in face-to-face meetings. Because in those virtual meetings, they are shorter and they are more you don't have maybe same kind of whiteboards which I have back of my in this room. So you must prepare yourself with all kind of visualizations which maybe are needed in the meeting. And that's why you must make a little bit better presentation. And typical structure for those presentations, what we have done to our customers is that you have at first some kind of introduction, then need survey, then you tell what kind of solution you can offer to your customer, then go why to work with you, what kind of process will start when we start the collaboration, then references if someone asks how you have done that earlier, and then next steps. And if I show you my sales presentation, it's very huge. There is about 150 slides. I will never use all of them in a one meeting, but we have done this way because it's so nice to be in a meeting, and whatever our customer is asking, I have an answer which I can present to customer using our presentation. So in this presentation, if we go a little bit near so that you can see something, we have here introduction part. We have here parts of need survey about challenges in your sales and marketing collaboration, about with challenges with materials, what kind of sales materials you have. I'm typically using these in meetings. Even I can do those questions without presenting anything. But whenever you have this kind of slides where the customer can see that, okay, we are now discussing about presentation sales materials, how can I share them? Okay, are they visual enough? Are they supporting the sales process? I don't need to ask those questions, but when person sees those topics, they are starting to think about, and they will give me better answers. What else there is in our presentation? There are something about visual, why it's important to have visual presentations. There is something about sales concept development. There are some UI images from our tool. There are about analytics, e-signatures, how to scale, Seidat usage, how to do that step by steps, and so on. We have also, of course, there is all kind of answers for pricing, how to do onboarding, what kind of packages we have for onboarding. For example, if there is something what must be designed, we have developed 3 different kind of packages for our customers: conversion, design, and concept. If customer thinks that, okay, we need a design package, then we can immediately start discussing how many slides you really need. Okay, 40 slides. Okay, the price is something like this, including design of 40 slides and trainings and brand settings, setup, and all what you need. So this is full package to start. So it's very nice to have this opportunity to, even in the first meeting, to start from introduction, going step by step towards pricing and all kind of things what are discussed in the end of the sales process. Typically, it happens so that we start with some of these first columns, and then we organize a second meeting where we are presenting the solution. We go in first meeting deeper to the needs, and then in the second meeting to solution. But of course, in some cases, they have studied they have done their homework so well that I don't even need to present what is Seidat all about. We can jump immediately to onboarding, how we can solve that topic to our customers. And after the meeting, we typically create this kind of presentations where we, in the early beginning, we create some kind of introduction video where we tell what we have been discussing earlier. And then there is something, okay, we have been discussing about this kind of presentation solution, and we include some testing opportunities to those slides. And it's easy way to then, to the person to who we are selling, it's easy for them to sell the same thing inside their organization. So I'm thinking that typically we are thinking totally wrongly this kind of memos, what I told here, sponsor letters, memos. So it's easy to understand that we need sales deck in a meeting, but I have, for example, talked totally wrongly earlier that, okay, why should I make a memo for my customer and send that to them? Writing down some memo and sending it, I don't think there is no idea to do that. But if you have opportunity to make this kind of visual presentation and send that, then it's really nice, because then they can use that presentation inside their own organization and sell the idea to the others. I have seen so many times that it's really working, and it's then so easy to close the deal. Then typically we are creating proposals. And for example, how we create proposals, it goes typically this way, that, okay, there is a first page, then some introduction, and then shortly, what is the project? And then there can be some more detailed information about the project process, how everything will be done, and then about packages, and then of course information about Seidat, so that when they are going through the proposal, they can also go through what is the Seidat as a tool. And what you now notice maybe is that in every presentation we are actually using same kind of content, but there are many versions. In sales deck, it's like a master deck where we have about more than 100 slides. But in a proposal, there are from 3 to 5 major slides, and then which are typically personalized based on our customer needs. And then we jump to presenting what is our tool, what kind of solutions it has, what kind of features. Same content what we have used in sales presentation, but we don't need to send several separate content. Only one presentation is needed. And when we are discussing about sharing those contents, in Seidat you have many options. So you can share it with the link. You don't need to send any attachments anymore. There are many options when you are sharing with link. There are options which allows your customer to browse the content himself or themselves, and then there are also options that they can present that presentation to their colleagues in the meetings. There are also direct share options, which is very secure way to share any content, because only the person to who you are sending that can open it. And that feature we have developed for banks, for example, because they are sending very, very secured material which is not allowed to share to anyone else. Of course, you can create PDFs and share them if your customer is asking that, but our customers are using Seidat link. Why they are using Seidat link? Because when you use Seidat link, you will have opening information if the customer has opened the presentation. It's not only information if they have opened, but you can also switch on alerts. So whenever your customer is opening the proposal presentation, it will send you an alert. Okay, now Paulus is opening the presentation. You should call him. And this information is very worthwhile in sales. Because, for example, yesterday morning, I was in a meeting where the CEO told me that they have sent proposals with the value of 2 million euros, but they don't have any idea when the customers will make decisions. But whenever you have this kind of concept for proposals, that you will get an alert whenever your customer is opening it, it's very easy for you to help them to make the final decision. Whenever you send a proposal now, then you present it to them, maybe have a meeting, then they are starting to think about that. Time goes, several weeks maybe, and suddenly they are once again opening the presentation and you will get an alert. It's big and very important sign for you that now you must call them. If you think about this analytics, you can also, as I told earlier, you can integrate your Google Analytics lead feeder, HubSpot, Albacross, and that all kind of analytics tool to your presentations. So you can combine that analytics information to your dashboards, which you are maybe creating already for your marketing purpose. And that's why we think that analytics is not only opening information if the content has been opened, but it's also very important sign for you or information which you can use when you are developing, which slides are performing well, how much people are using on those slides, which slides they don't care at all, they jump over immediately. I can say that, for example, if I send a proposal, I can see that people are typically using the most of the time on the slide where I'm presenting the price and the process, how the project will be done. Those are the most important slides. Do you know which are the most important parts of your proposals? I think you should know that, because it's the information which gives you opportunity to develop things. I presented you that email or presentation for Evert, which has been done using the automated process, and I did it using Zapier and our CRM. Our CRM is actually UserCom. It's not on that slide, but I have done same kind of integrations to Salesforce and HubSpot and Pipedrive and Fresh Sales and several other CRM tools. So typical concept for creating those automations is that there must be some kind of trigger. Typically, it is, for example, that deal has been moved to certain stage in CRM tool. After that, it will duplicate a present proposal template or introduction template, filter content from CRM, names, dates, company names, and so on. Then the automation will create shared link for the presentation, send that link back to the CRM so that it will be on one attribute of the contact, and then it can even communicate that proposal creation to your Slack or Teams channels. So the whole process can be done without any developer skills. So as I am master of art, I can't code anything, but I can create this kind of automations, and I really like it. It's very wonderful way of developing sales flow for our team. If you think about earlier, I said that presentations are not only about images and texts. Our customers are using many kind of content. We have many options. You can embed videos, three-dimensional products, panorama images, PDFs, websites, diagrams, calculators, chatbots. For example, Lido chatbots are a good example. So there is one chatbot, and then I can choose a time here and continue the whole process. I can create calculators on presentations, and they are interactive. This is calculating how effective it is to start using Seidat. If you have 30 salespeople, you will earn at least 165,000 euro per year, or even 2 million euros more, based on the calculation, which is details are here: average monthly sales per salesperson and so on. So easy ways to calculate, is it worth of using your tools? Three-dimensional or panorama images, I really like these. They are so useful in some cases if you are selling, for example, cars or houses or whatever. But I think these are very important options. This is interactive search about this is about electricity sales, one good example. So there are many options, and because of those options, presentations are not anymore that kind of presentations what we have been thinking earlier. They are really good sales tools. But now we jump to another topic: how to collaborate with Seidat, how to sales and marketing are collaborating using Seidat. Typically, in organization, there are different kind of roles. There are marketing and branding people. There are offering management, product managers, service managers. There are people who are developing the sales process, and then there are sales teams. There can be small and medium-sized sales, enterprise sales, verticals for industry, building, and so on. It depends on what kind of organization there is. But typically, there are this kind of roles. It can be many times that there are combined people, that same people is leading sales team and developing the sales concept, but they have several hats. And what we have noticed that the process goes typically this way, that marketing people, they are creating some templates and maybe company level slides. This is one presentation, another presentation. Then comes those offering people, product managers who are creating, for example, some product information. And then there is they are adding those slides to, or after those company slides. Then comes segment-based slides, content like references for industry, arguments which industry is interested about, and then comes content which salespeople are adding, which is totally customer specific. So typically the sales content which is shared to customer is like this, which includes content which marketing team has done, product managers, business verticals, and sales reps. So it's team collaboration. And then marketing team wants to update the slide where they have all kind of numbers of your business. What was your turnover in last quarter? How many customers you have and what kind of references you have and so on. And they are hoping that when they update the content in this presentation, it will be also updated here and here and here. It will not happen. If you don't have tool like what we have this kind of option that we have smart slides. In smart slide, it's a slide which is managed in certain place in Seidat. So when you update this slide, it will be updated immediately in presentation A and in presentation B, here and here. This slide from A to AB, it will be immediately updated. If you want to update your icons, for example, this icon so that it's always black, it will be, you can make that change in image bank and your presentation A will be updated, this slide and here will be also updated, also in this presentation and everywhere. If you want to update your brand fonts so that you are not anymore using Arial, you want to use, for example, some Helvetica or something more specific, then you will update only that information in your brand settings and it will update every presentation immediately. This is the way how we have solved keeping everything up to date all the time. And now you must notice that it's not only the content which your salespeople are going to use, but also the update will happen in those presentations which are shared to your customer earlier, even 1 year ago. Those presentations will also be updated. I can tell you a story about our current customer. And one of our other customer has been selling them a service, and then they have been presenting their references, and then they made a deal. After a year, they went back to that presentation which was presented for them, and they noticed that they are now also a reference case there. And they told that story when they were buying our solution also for themselves. But I think it was very interesting to hear that story, how they feel that, okay, it's very nice that their collaboration partner is using themselves as a reference case. Any questions? I haven't been checking the chat so actively, not so many questions. I can say that we have went through mostly the most important things already. And if we check a little bit backwards, I really recommend you to check your sales process and think about what kind of content you are using on different kind of steps of your process, and how could you develop those contents to support you and your other team better. I think also that it's very important to think that how you can share the content to your customers. Do you have analytics information of that sharing? What kind of content options you have, and how you collaborate with your team? And these are really important things if you are trying to develop for you winning sales flow. And who don't want to do that? I think everyone who is working with sales want to have winning sales flow. And I think that Seidat is really good answer if you are thinking how to make that happen. We are enabling that. And it's really interesting thing. You can go to our website, or when Evert is sharing you content, you will get a link to our calendars, and you can book a meeting, and then in that meeting we can discuss more detailed about your needs. You can also, of course, go to our website and click sign up button and start using Seidat immediately. You don't need our technical help. Everything is possible for you to do there. There's only maybe adding some specific fonts if your brand guideline says that you must use this and that Adobe font, for example, then you need a little bit our help to install those things. But then you can go open a chat bot and the chat, and then we will help you. So it's very easy to start utilizing our tool. I must say that thank you. It has been really nice to be here and tell you story about Seidat. And I really hope that we can start collaborating more actively and help you to enable winning sales flow for your organization, and help you to make new records in sales. Have a nice springtime. I really like that sun is shining outside, and when I'm cycling back to home, it's amazing weather, spring weather. So see you soon. Thank you and bye.